Hello, folks! Welcome to this Learn Live, and I'm so excited talking to you today. We have so many people on the comments, and I'm gonna ask you one thing. Please tell us where you are in this amazing big world. Say hi, where are you from? We are really excited to see you with us today. So, I'm Pablo Lopez. I'm a cloud advocate at Microsoft. My specializations are .NET and AI, and we have Robson, introduce yourself, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks, Pablo. Pleasure to be here. Hi, my name is Rafsan Husseinov. I am solution architect working with one of the top manufacturing companies globally. And I work with an enterprise architecture and I do a lot of AI solutions. And I'm super excited today, showing this exercise, practicing this great learning model with you.
Yeah, and folks, we know how difficult can be a lot of, we are having so many news about AI every single day. It's almost impossible to stop, right? You're here, and then you have boom, oh my God, so many news. Then you heard about ACP, you heard about agents, and it's almost impossible. Don't worry, we are here to help you to understand a little bit more about this. So let's start with our workshop today, which will be develop an agent with Azure AI Agent Service. So this is us again because I love to show our faces. We need to be. We are the stars of the show, but we are not alone. We're gonna show that we have so many people helping us today making this live stream. People from the Reactor, our moderators. I see. Say hi, moderators in the chat. We are so happy to have you here, and we're gonna introduce you very soon as well for the audiences here. First, we need to understand how can I learn all of this. This is derived from this module, which we have, which is aka.ms slash develop dash Azure dash AI dash agent. Of course, people don't like when I speak out loud, but I sometimes it's important, right? But if you want to learn this in a text form, you can learn this through here, which is really exciting. So say hi to our moderators today. All of them are student ambassadors. Ask questions. I see Lee Stott, which is one of our managers here at Microsoft, saying, ask questions, folks. We are really want to know what you need, what you want to know. We are here to answer your questions. And I said that's why I'm so excited. These are our amazing MLSAs helping us. Ryan, Einola, and Muhammad. We are so happy to have you here, and thank you so much for helping us during this session. And if I spoke your names wrong, I'm really sorry. This needs to be important. As I said, say hi and ask questions in chat. But before anything we go, join our Guinness World Records title attempt. Yeah, we already beat the attempt, but we really want you there because we think that is so important for you to understand and grow that you can learn more about AI and not just about AI. We can learn a bunch of other things. So take a look on our aka.ms slash AI skills flash. Let me put here on Anna. There you go. I should have that ready. Sorry. We have our amazing Reactor folks here, and I forgot to do the links to copy paste. So please take a look on aka.ms slash AI skills fast, and then take a look. There we go. Let's go to our agenda items today. So our introduction, we already made it. Yay. Then we need to answer some questions, right? Because I think, especially when we talk about AI, we have so many questions that go unanswered, right? Because people are talking too much about the hype. We talk too much about how can you do this, X and Y. No, we are not here to sell you the hype. We are here to sell an amazing thing that we can do with Azure. So let's understand what is truly an AI agent. Then let's talk about how to build AI agents with those agent services, when to use the AI agent, and then we're gonna do a small demo and a knowledge check. And I want to remember, I got a very nice notification here from Chennai Vibes. There is any Azure credentials available? Take a look on Microsoft Learn. On Microsoft Learn, you can easily get, your practice sessions and everything that you need. And if you don't, you have two options. I always like to talk about them. You can both have your incredible Azure for Students, which we have amazing things that you can use credits monthly, no, yearly, and you have Azure for free as well. But as far as I know, a lot of things on Learn, you can actually have resources from there as well. But yeah, as Lee always says, if you're a student, please use Azure for Students. That's where I started with Azure, and it's really nice. You can learn tons of it. So, and you're a student, go become an MLSA, become a student ambassador. You can have no monthly credits, and it's so good. But let's start because we are having so much to talk today. So let's talk about what is our real services. So what is the Azure AI Agent Service? It's very simple. The thing about agents is that they are independent, right? So they can do multiple things. They can do very no, they can do very complicated tasks to simple tasks, right? So they are basically independent small bots that can do tasks alone, which is amazing. But we have some problems, right? Imagine that we need to manage those services. So one good thing about Azure AI Agent Service is that it's a fully managed service. So we don't need to worry about how it's being managed and what resources are consuming, right? It's already fully managed inside of Azure AI Agent Service. You can as well have a very secure development environment because here's the thing. Azure allows you to scale very big, right? You can do a lot of things, but very securely. Remember, you can use Enter ID. You can use a lot of tons of tooling to help you secure your development. And I'm gonna ask Rapson, do you have any other points that we can talk about security and our agents here?
Yes, security is gonna be very key concepts in the agent development because we want to make sure the agent uh, adhere the security principles so that users can use it and it could be credible. Otherwise, from the enterprise architecture perspective, you know that we are not allowed to build things that we don't provide any security, that can be user details that we don't want to expose to others. And we want to make sure that people who use the agent get access to data that they're supposed to have access. So security will be very important. And luckily, we have Azure AI services that can take care of this.
Exactly. And one thing want to talk about, how secure is this really? We're gonna show some small toolings after those points on the presentation, so you can actually understand how secure this really is. And scalable, right? Because how is it scalable? Because it's Azure. It's a big cloud, so you can do multiple agents. One agent, you can do whatever your service needs and whatever you need for anything you want to deploy. May it be a small bot to help you understand a small point in the game, like you are gaming and you need like an agent to search some things, you can do that. Or like a big multinational Fortune 500 company that you need a very scalable solution for millions of people. Let's go next. So let's understand a little bit about the AI agent. Let's define AI agent. 3 points. A smart software service uses Gen AI to perform tasks and can operate independently. So those are very 3 essential points to understand what an agent is. That's it. These are basically the local definitions for each part of the agent. So what is a smart service? Very simple. It can the definition of smart here, it means that they can do tasks, right? But what kind of tasks? It can use a Gen AI. Of course, doesn't just use Gen AI. You can use traditional AI, classic AI, because that's a thing people I notice they confuse a lot. You need only Gen AI, and it's not that. It requires a lot of coding. It requires a lot of infrastructure. It requires a lot of architecture, right? So I have tons of things that, yes, it needs to perform, but usually now, especially now, because Gen AI helps us a lot with like NLP, it helps a lot of performing tasks. It can call multiple other APIs. It's so good, right? So you don't need to worry too much. But sometimes you need classic AI. Sometimes you need to classify something that classic AI is better. So it uses Gen AI, but doesn't just uses Gen AI. And what is to operate independently, right? It means that it can call any API it needs, of course, on the bounds of the system. What bounds means? When you go and architect your agent, it needs to have a function. It cannot just, oh, agent, do whatever I want. it doesn't work like that. And remember, we want to make this agent secure, good, and it can deliver nice results and ROI for our clients, or if your client is yourself, right? So it needs to understand what services we use, how it's going to use it, how it's going to call it, right? So it can operate indefinitely, but on the bounds that you constrain, right? So it can call OpenAI, it can call O Alpha if we need to do an equation or very complicated point. It can call Azure Blob Storage, right? Imagine that I need something for blob storage. It can call AI search. So it can do those things, but it will not call Neopets. It, it will not call that because it doesn't make sense. We don't want that. So these are things we need to take care about when we talk about an AI agent. What are benefits, right? We can call very easily. It's the routine tasks. It can automate the repetition, on those. Imagine that we need to every 5 hours. Um, and I want to check the news every 5 hours and I want a summary from them. So it's not just a programming task because you can see, because if I just want a programming task, check the news every 5 hours, right? I don't want just the news 5 hours. I want the summary. I want what is happening. So it needs Gen AI. So it means that I can get the news, summarize, and send to my email. See, it requires multiple steps. Because it requires multiple steps, it means that we can automate those kind of tasks with that. We can enable everyone to concentrate, strategic activities, and enhance productivity. But you may ask, what is strategic when you talk about AI? Very simple. Strategic on AI, it means more creative tasks or tasks that we need to have some kind of human input. And you'll be very surprised that there are tons and tons of people that need those kinds of things. And repetition is a thing that we lose a lot of time. Imagine that you need to to check every single time. No, it need to go to the browser to take a look on their DevOps, right? You're gonna lose some time because you need to check every single hour. But you can have an agent to pick that, send an email, and can take a look while it's searching in the inbox. That's good. Or it sends you when you have emergency. Of course, some of those things already can be automated by normal coding, but sometimes you need to understand like NLP tasks. You need to get some why is getting wrong, what is the error, right? So those are kind of things we can try to automate. Let's go next. Enhanced decision making. I know a lot of people have some difficulty on decision making, especially on brainstorming. That's the thing, the AI is incredible, and AI agents can search the web for you, getting some ideas. They can easily get a nice summary and can get very condensed data for this. So this is incredible. I'm gonna ask Rafson as well. There is any way that generative AI helped you or agents helped you to enhance your decision making?
All the time. I mean, it's the fact that we don't have actually information problem. We have too much information problem, but data without insights, it's not going to help us. That's where we need generative AI capabilities to give us what exactly we want, right? Because we define the agent's capabilities, providing instructions, and agent understand that, okay, Rafsan looking for this specific information. When I summarize, let's say, large document, this is the information I need to provide to him. So I use Gen AI capabilities all the time, not only within agents, but outside of agents, let's say Microsoft 365 Copilot and so on. Yeah, this is spot on, Pablo.
Excellent. And we have more than that. It's scalable and efficient. It allows us companies to imagine that we have every single agent for, I really like Copilot. I really like M365 for Copilot because that's the thing. It automates so much of my life. It gets nice summaries. It helps me write so many documents, templates. It's not just me. It's everyone that has M365 Copilot. So it makes a lot of sense that you can have it's not just a Pablo helper or a Hobson helper. It's a helper for everyone. And that's what's so exciting about agents. It's how they scale. How can they operate around the clock? And sometimes I had one example for the clock. We have sometimes holidays, right? And I received a ping from the agent say, hey, you're going to be on holiday very soon. Maybe want to schedule this earlier, this meeting. And say, how did you even predict that? So that's the cool, amazing thing about those agents, right? That can try to see where your patterns are and try to help you going with that. And courses inside of Microsoft, we are always upskilling. And we have some agents actually help us to what's the new career paths that are growing up? What do you already have and how can we help you grow? So those are really exciting on that on agents as well. Uh, and let's go to some use cases. I have some questions that I'm gonna pick, and I'm gonna pick. I have some, but I will pick which one because we have so many. There we go. I want to pick one thing from I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Godavathi? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't speak Hindi. I apologize. How can AI agents design to learn from human feedback? And that's a thing that you need to take care on when you talk about your agent, right? Because I always want to remember we're gonna see how we build agents later. But one thing we need to learn when you talk about human feedback with agents is that if you want to improve it on the loop, you can improve on two cases. You can do the simpler one, which is very simple, right? I think Rapson already knows we're gonna talk about, including your prompt. You're gonna have a prompt and you have to include what is a good case and a bad case. What is a good input and a bad input, right? So these are things that you need to as well say to your agent. That's actually very close to our problems with Gen AI in general, is that the easy solution is add to the prompt and add a positive and a negative example. So these usually work. But if you're saying like, I want to have a human in the loop improving the model, that's fine tuning. That's another can of worms. And then you need to understand how you're gonna use that. Or you can do some RAG, the classic RAG, right? But here's the thing: if it's like small samples here and there, I think prompt engineering is completely fine. Then, if you need something more complicated, you're gonna do some RAG. You're gonna get some examples because remember, it's autonomous. So you need to get your information later in the chain. Because imagine I'm gonna search Bing, but I want to use a source. You need to inject when it goes to Bing. So that you should inject your prompt and then you're gonna search, right? Those are kind of things that you need to understand. And then there is fine tuning, but fine tuning is another ball game. Is really complicated. Any suggestion, Rapson? Or do you think those are fun?
Again, like that comes to the solution layer, right? Determining what kind of model we are going to use and determining, do we need fine tuning? Fine tuning is good, but at the same time, it's costly.
Yeah.
So the prompt engineering Pablo mentions, we're talking about system prompt engineering, right? You need to be careful by providing, okay, enough description and a sequence of all the activities that agent's supposed to do. And hey, provide also real world example showing the agent that this is, if I were human, I would do the same way, and I expect you to follow this sequence, and here is the real world use case. And then agent would go ahead and respect those sequence and then get back to the user. So I would say prompt engineering better, but also we have all those log information, interaction between agent and the user and all the answers, what user asked, what the agent responded. So we can analyze them. We can even build another agent on top of that to see the matching answers and provide real-time feedback to us saying that this answer looks little off. So you need to provide more details. But sometimes it's not always the instructions. Sometimes it's the knowledge source. We have a limited knowledge source and agent doesn't find enough information. And somehow we forget providing, saying that if you don't find any information, say, sorry, I don't have enough information. So those are the considerations. Luckily, Microsoft Learn has enough information and learning resources for you.
Exactly. So let's go some examples. Don't worry, folks. Those are be very quick because those are I like to joke. It's not that they're boring, but those are what you expect. So let's go to imagine healthcare, right? So it's the classic. No, patients want to know. People say, "Oh, how can I get to the doctor? Where's the doctor?" Right? So those automate easily. Streamlining some administrative tasks. Imagine that I have like a patient that I want to know, I want to keep a heartbeat on their situation. That's a very good thing on Agent. It can get like call the API and go back, so it streamline very easily. And not only that, it can personalize for the person that is asking. So imagine that to have one-to-one, right? We need to check if the person can verify. Imagine it's my father. My father, needs to go to the doctor, and I want to know his situation. So I can actually have to check if I have the privilege, if I have to have that, or let's go to administrative. I need to do the doctor to see if they logged in, etc. So there's a lot of things we can do. And because of this Azure, data security, it's very important. We need to take care about how safe is our patient, especially with a high PAA, right? I don't know if it's the correct name for that, but we have so many laws governing on the healthcare sector that is really important for us to know and to be very safe. Then personal productivity is the classic agent for me and you. Someone that can help us with tasks, that can help. Hey, did you did this task already? Want me to do your to do for yourself? It can schedule your meetings for you, like schedule a meeting with Rapson at 4 on Teams. It can do that. It can help us a lot with document drafting. That's a classic use, and a lot of people use for that already. Research agents. I don't need to do ChatGPT, Copilot. That's exactly what it does. You can actually ask for that, say, hey, can you search and do a summary for those sources and ask for, oh, tell me the latest news on X, right? So it can do that already. It's a very big use case for this as well. Market trends, healthcare research, consumer behavior, the classics, right? Sales agents, yeah, because imagine that you're on the website and then you log in, the chat. So that's what they do. So you can do lead generation automation, personalized follow-ups. If I put an email, it can actually trigger a full system to send you an email, and a very personalized one, different from like cold emails. It can do, hey, you search for X. This person is very interested on a new microphone. Imagine that Pablo is interested in a new microphone. So it knows what kind of microphone, what are the range costs, what Pablo said to me that can be very important to write this email. So that's be very key. And scheduling some sales calls as well. The customer service, the classic. Everyone knows this. Everyone handled those already. Everyone had to see in a shop. And the developer ones, GitHub Copilot. I didn't even say anything anymore. Review your code, bug fix, repository. Everyone knows about GitHub Copilot and they love it. So those are kind of things that you already know that you see. Those are things you can develop, you can improve it, you can grow. So those are things we love about agents. They are now everywhere. And so it's really exciting to see this growth of this new industry that came from nowhere, honestly. It came from GitHub Copilot in 2022. And then it's like this. It's crazy. Now, let's talk about how to use a little bit about the Azure AI service. So let's go to our agent service. So let's see about the purpose and their benefits. The good thing about this is one of the things that's classic. We aim to empower developers to build and scale safely. And not only with that, we are aiming this with custom AI agents. So we are not closing to a structure. The good thing about the Azure AI agent service is that you can do whatever you want. You can have a very expensive way to develop those agents, and you can pick custom APIs. You can use Bank to search. And not only that, we have our extensions as well. I have so many of those, right? You can do multiple things only with Azure. You can pick. Imagine that you have a blob storage that you already use for a website, or you use Cosmos DB, or you use Azure AI Search. The good part is that you can plug and play. So you just done. So you don't need to worry about how to import this big database. Oh no, don't worry. With the service, you just plug and play and then build from that, which is incredible because you don't need to start from scratch. You can do amazing new things already with Azure. And not only that, we have a very simplified development process. Usually when people talk about agents, they get scared because they, oh my God, I don't know nothing about AI. Don't worry. The good part of this is that with 50 lines of code or less, you can do a basic agent. And remember, as I said, you can integrate with almost every single thing we have on Azure, which is like how many services we have in Azure at this point? I want to say 1,000, but I'm not so sure. I know Lee probably knows. Lee is in the chat. So, but we have so many services on Azure, it can integrate with almost everything, which is incredible, right? So that's the whole thing. And remember, you can integrate with multiple other ones. You can do a very nice thing. Then let's go to our key benefits. As I said, agents without tooling doesn't make sense. And that what is nice. We have an automatic cool calling. So you don't need to, oh my God, then when it goes to this loop, it will call Bing, it will call AI search. No, it will easily not understand like only on text, of course, but it can automate a lot of the cold calling live services. It really has efficiency. You don't need to understand it like very manually. You can do like very easily. And look who's back. Security, baby. We are so back. So when you talk about, man, what does secure data means? So, man, so what I should take care when you talk about an agent? Conversation states, right? Those are the key meat on the bone, other than the data. So when you have those conversation states, those are very securely managed. We have threads, so we cannot engage manually to them. So I cannot go to your conversation specific and say inject information. Rafson is talking to like he wants to buy a new shoe and say put Rafson, I don't know, with sparkly shoes. I don't think Rafson would appreciate a bot recommending sparkly shoes to him, but that's the point, right? I cannot go there and interrupt your conversation. No, we of course you need to take care. But it's a bug. We have a bug, etc. You're gonna have like logs on the Azure service itself, not in the conversations. Only if you like very specifically say send this, but you need to create this service, etc. It's very complicated. But default, very secure, and to end, very nice. I forgot two things. The out-of-the-box tools. We have so many tools, as I said. Azure AI Service, code interpretation, data source interaction. We as well have one thing that I really like that we have on interpretation on that. Document insights. Document insights saves our lives because people are sending PDFs. They send PDFs saying, what is going on? How? Right? And the thing about having document insight is that it saves us that we need to put. We have as well a doc. I know we have a repo. I think Rapson knows what repo I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. The repo that picks every single document that do markdown.
Oh yes.
I forgot the name of the repo now, but that's a really good repo as well. So those are kind of things that Microsoft already has in Azure. So I didn't worry about it. It just plug and play. That is so amazing. And do not discount Azure AI Hub. I think it's we're gonna do Foundry. I think it's no Foundry. Okay, but that's the thing. Flexible model selection. You can choose Phi. You can use Llama. You can use, I think, even Mistral. You can use OpenAI. You can use every single model. What is your favorite, Robson? Imagine, I want to ask you, in general, don't worry. I know a specific model has a use case. But what is your favorite model? What is the one you usually choose?
So, again, like I have a lot of use cases, depends on what the customer wants. But personally, I like O1 Read a lot because of the reasoning capabilities, and you can match the answers with the general purpose model where how deep it goes versus O1. It not only provides you with a key information you need, but also reasons over, generates the insights, maybe next steps. So that's why I personally like O1. But again, model selection depends on the use case.
Excellent. I got a ping from Anna say, yo, we are halfway already. I say, oh no, because but I'm gonna rush it a little here. As I said already, this is a thing. I said this twice already, but we have enterprise grade security. That's not a surprise. We have compliance, data privacy, we have security handling, keyless authentication. You need to use the app. When you go to log into the app, that's a thing we're going to do. Customizable storage solutions, blob storage, your platform, whatever. You have it for you. And what tools that we have? So we have those things called knowledge tools that really helps you to understand how it's doing that. So we have this, which is the enhanced agent functionality, which helps you determine which tasks you're gonna use this. So imagine that I have like an agent that have like, okay, I have three options for this interaction, A, B, or C. And it helps us to determine which ones are the best one and which tools available are the best for each task. So that's incredible. The code interpreter tool, which is basically helps us run custom solution, custom code that helps us like run it quickly, have nice graphs. It's incredible. And the knowledge tools overview, which is basically understand how can you use Azure AI search, data uploads, and real-time data integration to deliver nice results for everyone. Action tools, because what is action? Perform the tasks. Remember, it's autonomous, so we need to run tasks on there. Simple, right? We just need to run this. How can we run this? And how can we run automatically, which is key. So again, who's back? The code interpreter. It's incredible. It's very dynamic and can run between systems, applications. We have custom function calling, which is, you probably know, Robson. You can use a lot of Azure functions, OpenAI specifications, and integration of tooling overall. I want to ask you before we go to when to use it. Any comments on those slides? Okay, we think we are okay there. So we have here agent service. So this is how we integrate. So let's look at infrastructure at once, because those are things that are really important to understand. So we have here our Azure. This is out of the kind of a little bit update, but that's fine. Then we have Azure AI Hub with our Azure AI project with our Key Vault or AI search services and storage. So with that, there's very simple architecture. You can answer questions, make decisions, and automate complex workflows. Then what are other tooling that we may have here? We have functions. Remember what I said before? You can easily go with every single Azure function. So no, it's not just AI, folks. People say, oh, I need to do on Azure. No, you can write a Lambda function. You can write an Azure function, then boom. It does very simply select from database, go here, run cognitive services to get something from me. That's it. You don't need to run everything on GenAI. You can do classic processing with Azure functions easily and quickly. It can bind and can interact with external systems. Remember that. It's not just Azure. It's with everything. Azure storage integration, as I said before, I'm gonna not repeat myself here because we talk about blob storage, Cosmos DB. You can go everywhere with this. And AI search. Search your data, get your vectors, get your embeddings, get everything that may be useful for you to run your amazing search in your amazing data, because users want correct data. And if you want to do a RAG, if you want to call APIs, you can do a lot with search and Azure services to connect with through APIs. I talked 5 minutes. See, Rapson, I rushed it a little, as I told you. It was a lot of things to cover. But folks, we talk too much. Let's go to the practice. Let's go to our amazing demo.
All right, Pablo, really great information. And now let's go ahead and see the exercise. Wish me luck, because I'm gonna do this while we are on live. So the part of this learning model is the exercise, and luckily we have all the GitHub repo code here. We can just clone it, and we will do this in Azure Cloud Shell. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to use Azure AI Agent Service to create simple AI agent to serve our customers with, analyzing the data and generating the charts. And Pablo mentioned one of the built-in tool here is code interpreter, where it will dynamically generate the Python code and generate the chart, and we can save it as an image. The first thing we need to do, we need to go to Azure AI Foundry, create the project. And what's project? You guessed it. Collaboration space. That's where we collaborate with different team members, create the agents, do the customization. So I am right now in the Azure AI Foundry. You can just go to aiazure.com. And if you have projects already, you will be landing on one of your projects. Click Azure AI Foundry on the top left corner. And this is where you can actually go ahead. Okay, perfect. You can go ahead and create a new project. I will click create a new project. You can give more meaningful name. Again, this is whatever use case you have, try to provide a similar name so that you can easily find. If you are building 10, 20, 50 agents, this will be a little cumbersome process for you. And the hub is very important concept. The hub is basically a hosting space environment for your projects. In one hub, you can have multiple projects, and each project can have multiple users collaborating. So I'll go ahead and create, I'm not going to choose the default one because I will show some important concepts. And I will call this Reactor and click next. And now I have project name, I have hub name, and let's also see what we get here. As soon as we created the hub, the Azure created some resources for us. It's using my existing Azure subscription. It's created the new resource group. Location is, I will touch base on this. This is very important. It created the hub, and it also created the data storage with storage, Key Vault, AI services, and public network access enabled. Let's customize this. So why location is important? Because for this demo, we will use GPT-4o or Omni model, and that depends on certain regions. So if you are selecting location, make sure you either choose East US or East US 2 or West US or West US 3 or Sweden Central. So I'll keep this as is. It created the new Azure AI services, and I will this time skip connecting to Azure AI Search and click next. And you can see this is the information I need and click create. Now it's basically generating all these resources for us. Like Pablo mentioned, we don't have to care about infrastructure. Azure is doing for us. So all we need just little bit configuration, and then the next step will be deploying our model, because we created the project, and inside the project what we need to deploy a large language model so that agent can use it to interpret or respond back to the user prompts, correct? So luckily we have so many options here. We will choose. You can choose, again, that depends on what kind of use cases you have. For data analysis, we will just use GPT-4o model. It's generally available now. This may take 1 or 2 minutes, maximum 4 minutes. I tested multiple times. Pablo, do you have anything else to say during this?
No, not for now. I mean, folks will take a little bit for to do this deployments, but those will be quick. Don't worry. But one thing I may add is that the good part is us having an AI hub is that we can do multiple projects. That's a thing I think Rapson already told, but that's a very key to re-emphasize, because the good part is us having multiple projects is that you can separate, do different agents, you can do multiple testing, you can even do inside of your own project that technically can do A and B inside of it already. So those are incredible points that I really like the hub, is that you can do multiple tests with multiple projects. That's incredible.
Also, while we are waiting, I want to highlight, like for this exercise, you will probably create your own demo hub, But within organizations, you will probably need to communicate with your IT admin. They will set up the hub for you. They will give it to you. And the hub is really a great concept because they define all the security layers so you don't have to do it by yourself. So now our project is ready. We will need some key information here, but the second step will be deploying a model. And if this is collapsed, you can just expand this part under My Assets, click Models and Endpoints. And here, come here, Deploy Model. If you click this, you will see two options, Deploy Fine-Tune Model. This is a custom model you have. But for this time, we will just use any one of the models that's provided by Azure OpenAI. Click Deploy Base Model. And for this time, we are looking for GPT-4o or Omni. As you can see, there are so many models. So I will just click and confirm. So you can rename it to more specific and you can also customize this. The reason that, let me also walk through real quick. Model version, always choose the latest model. You don't have to really worry about this because Azure do this by default. And then you have connected Azure resources here. Token, this is very important concept, tokens per minute. That means that when the thread opens and runs the user prompts, how many tokens the AI agent will use. So right now I have 250K. For this exercise, 50 is good. If you have less than 50, just make sure you choose the highest number. This will basically help you avoid overusing your quotes. So I will and the default also, this is another important concept. The Azure has a built-in capability to take care of the content filtering. That can be fraud, that can be some harm-related prompts or user interactions. Azure will stop them. And you can keep this in default version 2. Click Deploy. Now we deployed our model as well. So what we need now, so I will go to Azure now. So hope my screen is big enough, everyone can see. And here we will create a new Cloud Shell. So click Cloud Shell. So let me actually refresh. Right. So I will click Cloud Shell. So if you use Bash, make sure you switch to PowerShell. And from the settings, make sure you go to classic version. The reason because we want to use built-in code editor. And that's where we will bring our Python code and that we will use for our agent. So here, what I need now, I will real quick bring our GitHub repo. We will clone that. All right, perfect. Perfect. This basically clones our GitHub repo to this AI agents folder. And from here, we will change the directory to make sure that agent use the right folder and list all the files. Perfect. And then from here, we will need to install our libraries. That's here too. Perfect. And now we will need to basically configure the file. Perfect. So when you do this, make sure you keep your Azure AI Foundry open because we will bring our project connections string here. Where can we find that? Let's go back to our project, go to Overview tab, and this is project connection string. Just copy this. This is your project connection string, and then we will paste it here. Perfect. And we also need to bring our deployment model. So to find that, go to model endpoints, and this is our deployment model name. And I will paste it here. And make sure you save it. Then let's also execute this. Perfect. Now, I'm not going to copy and paste the code slowly. I will just copy the entire code I have in my Visual Studio Code and paste it here, save. So now what we need to save this again to make sure. And I will also explain the code details a little bit. Anna, I need just a quick minute of privacy, so I need to authenticate Azure.
Be careful.
Yes. Very. All right. So
yeah. Don't worry. We are here for taking your back here.
all right.
But yeah, folks, any questions on the process, let us know because we know we have so many people seeing this, taking a look. I know I can see Lee is answering a lot of the questions. Thank you for amazing moderators today as well for answering so many questions so quickly.
Yeah. So what the next step is actually what I'm doing. I will explain, but here I basically authenticate one more time. And I need to run this. Perfect. Anna, you can reshare it again. Thank you so much. So we are ready. So our client app is ready. Now, let's say user comes and they interact with the agent. So let me make this a little bigger. And let's say user says, based on our data set, they ask, what's the category with the highest cost? Let's see what happens now. Perfect.
Ta-da.
Agent received the user prompt, took the user prompt, and also did reasoning over, looked at our data set where we have category and cost, and generated the response. And here is the result. The category with the highest cost is transportation, with a cost of 2,300 something. So, but when we started this, we mentioned that we also want our agent to generate the charts, right? So the next prompt will be create a, you can also define like what kind of chart. I want pie chart showing cost by category. Click enter. Perfect. So the same thing again. User, this is within the chat loop, right? The same chat. And this is stateful. That means that the agent actually keeps the previous chat during the chat instruction. It keeps the context. So here, the user asked the question, the agent did the reason over, generate the answer, and then here is the pie chart. And now I want to download this. I want to download this as an image file. So I will just go ahead and first we need to quit. Perfect. Let me bring this. Actually, sometimes it doesn't work.
I was asking, was it easy to copy? There you go. You're downloading it.
Yeah. So I run quit. So maybe let's repeat one more time. This time it should work.
Yeah.
Perfect. Enter. So this is a pop-up showing that the chart read it in image format and we can download it. I'll just click here to download and open it. And let me actually bring this because it downloaded to my other screen.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. This is our beautiful. I don't see on the screen. Let me maybe reshare my other screen.
Okay, fine.
So
But yeah, folks, you can see one. I want to understand what you saw, right? So we create a new agent which has now some data, and not only that, we can generate, as I said, data. We can generate things because it can interpret code. So this is incredible. So he generated an incredible pie chart. Everything we did, anything, the agent made it. The agent did it by itself, which is incredible.
yeah, and the line of code maybe I'll reshare it again. I apologize. But as we mentioned, we don't have to write like thousands lines of code. We're gonna write very simple line. So hope everyone see my screen. All right, let's look at the code that is here. So when we create this, the agent already automatically uses our Azure credentials, and this is the main client uses to connect to our Azure project. And then this is the built-in code interpreter that we are using to generate the dynamic code to create the charts. And this is the string that we are using to connect to our Azure AI project. This is the deployment. This basically displays the data to be analyzed based on the user. And this connects to Azure AI Foundry, you can see, and it also excludes the other environments. And then here, within this block, this uploads the file, and that also create a code interpreter tool. And then here is the other details. The name of the agent is data agent, and here is the instruction. You are an AI agent that analyzes the data in the file that has been uploaded. If the user requests a chart, create it and save it. And I can provide more detail if we have time, or Pablo, do you want to jump to the
We can do like this. Let's do some knowledge check and some comments, and then we're gonna go.
Sounds good. So do you want me to continue then?
Um, just talk one more thing. Let's do one more thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing will be at the end, basically once everything done, it actually keeps the memory everything within that specific session, within that thread. And then once you are done, you click quit, and that basically cleans up the agent and deletes the thread. So as you can see, very simple use case, but how much did it take, Pablo? 10, 15 minutes? Because Azure took care of the infrastructure. All we needed, just clone the GitHub code files, then put it here and run some commands, and then here we are. So this was our client app connected to our Azure AI project. And this is the simple agent, helps the user to analyze data and generate the charts. So make sure when you do that at home, later go back to Azure portal to delete the resources. You don't want to consume your resources, okay?
Exactly. Be very careful, folks. So let's go, folks. Now to our small knowledge check. We're just gonna do just one question because we are very on time. You cannot even believe it how on time we are, Rapson. So I want from folks on chat to know. Question number one. We have some knowledge check and we want you to answer. So use your comment box there, etc., to put A, B, or C, and lock in your answer. You are tasked with creating an AI agent that can interpret code interacting with data sources like Bing. Which feature of Azure AI Agent Service should they utilize? Out of box tools, secure managed data, enterprise grade security. A, B, or C? Oh, look, we are already having some answers. We're having lots of, oh my God, so many people are doing the same. I want to think different, folks. Come on, we need some other options. Okay, I saw one, so I'm going to finish in a minute because in a minute is the time that we have. So I'm gonna ask Robson. Robson, what option do you think it is? It is A, it is B, or is C?
Out of box tools, A.
Okay, so yes, folks, it is A. It will be our out of box tools, which is the tooling that we have for using data sources like Bing. I saw one that has like I love the out of you have A, B, and C. I saw like D, I saw A and E. Very funny. The last one will be this like we have two components. What is the minimum required to build an agent with Azure AI Agent Service? So I'll rush to this, which is like AI Hub and AI Project, right? Kubernetes service is great, but you don't need that to an agent service. And AI Hub and Key Vault, we need project, right? Other than the Hub. So I'm gonna just rush for the summary. Just basically, we have very big advancements on AI agents. We have the AI agent service to help you to create new agents, challenges, and the business impact, which is big. We have here the purpose of AI agents, how they work, how to build one, and how to integrate those into apps, which is incredible. And folks, with that, let's do our closing and reminder. I'm reminding you that we have this amazing Guinness World Records title attempt, which we are already in. So be part of the history. Go with us and participate this with the Guinness World Records and learn much, much more about AI. Go to aka.ms/training affirmation and share this. Share honestly. I'm gonna do it right away. Take a print of me and Rapson and tag us on LinkedIn. I let's do this.
Let's do this, yes.
Yeah, this and this. Tag us. We are really happy to have you here. So tag us. We're really excited to see so many people participating on this amazing Learn Live. And if you want to know more about generative AI, we have generative AI normal, but if you want to learn more advanced concepts of NET, go to Gen AI Net. We have so many things to talk about generative AI and amazing new things with generative AI with NET. But of course, I have generative AI for beginners, and I have generative AI with NET. We have so many things. We have agents for beginners. We have so many things, but this is the one that I worked with as well. So we're really happy to share with you. Thank you for attending. Redeem your badge. Share with us. Go to AI Skills Fest. And remember, this is a module on Learn. So take a look on Learn. We have so many activities, and we're gonna do until May. Oh my God, we still have a month of AI Skills Fest. Isn't that exciting, Rapson?
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, it's AI. It's always, exciting to learn and practice it.
Yeah. Next steps with the agents hack. And what are you going to learn next? Go to aka.ms/agents hack. We can be cut any second now because it has a really hard cut on these programs. Thank you so much for being with us. It is a pleasure to teach you more about agents and much more.